Welcome to Ring Talk. Magic Tyler, Caysen Smith, your new champion. Just want to point that out because I definitely won this. I beat John Cena for this.
Mm-hmm. That way. Yes, that was your graduation present from yours truly.
No, it wasn't a gift. I actually won.
I don't think so.
I won it.
Speaking of John Cena.
Him and R-Truth, man.
Well, we'll get to that. WWE Backlash.
Oh, yeah.
It went down in St. Louis, not too far from here. And so let's go through the show. So we had, what kicked off the night? It was, what was it?
I have no clue.
All right, we'll bring it up. Oh, we look unprofessional.
Well, it's been like 2 weeks, Tyler.
Just look up Backlash results and go to like the Wikipedia page.
Fatal 4-Way.
The Fatal 4-Way was first?
I think so. That's at least what it shows.
Oh, yeah, for the United States Championship. So it was Jacob Fatu versus Drew McIntyre versus Damian Priest versus LA Knight.
And Jacob Fatu.
Jacob Fatu picking up that W.
With the new member.
Yes.
Of the new bloodline.
Yes. It was, what was his name again?
Some other name that I can't remember. It's hard to catch up with all these new names on the bloodline. I like just recently got the. They like changed
Jeff Cobb.
Yeah, didn't they like change his name too? Like,
I don't know. I just know he was a big deal and overseas in other countries. But Jeff Cobb debuted and helped Jacob Fatu retain the title.
Jacob Fatu didn't know what to think of it.
Damian Priest and Drew McIntyre just couldn't get enough of each other. Damian Priest ended up, I believe, suplexing. They kind of fought into the crowd. Damian Priest suplexed Drew McIntyre through a table. It looked like Drew McIntyre's head freaking caught the floor.
Poor Drew.
So they were pretty much taken out of commission there, and all that was left was Jacob Fatu and Mr. LA Knight. And obviously, with Jeff Cobb getting thrown in there, Jacob Fatu comes out with the win. And the bloodline standing tall.
Yeah. Basically. We also had the Women's Intercontinental Championship match, which Valkyria won.
Yes. With a roll up.
Yeah.
It was a little sneaky pin.
And Becky Lynch
got the W.
Just starts beating her up.
Yeah.
Basically. Next we had the...
This was the one match that you didn't predict right. You predicted Becky Lynch. I went with Lyra because I feel like there were too many heels that were winning throughout the night that we were predicting. So I was like, all right, if there's one babyface that has probably the best chance, most likely chance of winning, it'd be Lyra.
Yeah.
But as we clearly see, this is not going to be the end of this rivalry. And as we see throughout the next couple of weeks.
Isn't Becky Lynch going to be in the Money in the Bank, though?
No, because Lyra cost her the match this past Raw.
Who won that?
Roxanne Perez.
Roxanne, that's right. Who was the other person that won? Oh, Rhea Ripley won.
Rhea Ripley won.
That's what I was thinking.
And then Alexa Bliss won on SmackDown.
Yeah. So we had the Intercontinental Championship match. Dominic Mysterio wins, of course.
Dominic versus Penta. And maybe possibly the best match of the night.
Penta's insane, dude.
Penta, yeah, the crowd is behind him. But Dominic Mysterio, I feel like, needs to be champ for a little while. I think Penta could be someone that takes the title from him eventually. But not right now.
I think Finn Balor should be the one to take the title from him. That's what the streets are saying.
That's what the streets are saying?
That's what I'm saying. I don't know if the streets are saying
Dominic
that.
Mysterio got the win, right, because of El Grande Americano.
Yeah.
Getting involved. I think he did the little, the plate in his head.
Yeah, headbutted
under his mask. And headbutted Penta. Dominic Mysterio took advantage, got the W.
Gunther beat Pat McAfee.
Pat McAfee put up a fight. I mean, he threw some chops towards Gunther's way. And it earned Gunther's respect a little bit. Michael Cole even got involved.
Yeah.
And Wade Barrett was then at one point calling the match all on his own.
Poor Wade.
Wade was working hard because Michael Cole needed to go defend his buddy who was defending him. He was fighting to defend Michael Cole's honor.
Yeah.
The man that's only missed 3 days of work in his entire career. 3 days, and he's been doing this for 25 plus years. Only missed 3 days. That's a legend.
He is a legend.
Michael Cole is a legend.
Would you say he's like the voice of WWE?
He is. And the crowd was chanting. You heard them chant for Michael Cole.
Yeah.
But in the end, Pat McAfee couldn't stop the ring general. And we knew it to be true.
Mm-hmm.
Gunther picked up that big W. But in the end, showed some respect to Pat McAfee.
And next, we get a undisputed WWE Championship match.
The main event.
That is way better than the championship match that we got at WrestleMania.
At WrestleMania, it was John Cena versus Randy Orton one last time.
Insane. It was an insane
You
match.
heard when Randy Orton came out, I had a buddy that was there. And he said he'd never experienced anything like that before.
Yeah.
He said it was so loud. People were just screaming and singing at the top of their lungs. And he says, he's like, I was singing the whole time. And it was amazing. That crowd was so loud for him. And then out comes John Cena. They boo John Cena. He still had his supporters there.
Right.
You still heard the Let's Go Cena chants. They were still there in St. Louis. But we were definitely in Randy Orton country.
Randy Orton should have won the match, man. He had him.
He had him, I would say, probably multiple times.
And
he had him.
Reasonable crash out from Randy Orton later.
Yeah.
Beating up all the security.
Yeah, so a ref gets taken out. You know, it's all breaking down. Security and like some of the producers come out. And Nick Aldis comes out trying to gain control of the match. Randy Orton obviously not taking that lightly. RKO's, just everybody. Then what's funny is one of the people that was a producer wasn't a real producer. There was like a wrestler that was acting as a producer, and I actually have met that guy because he's wrestled for Mid-States Wrestling sometimes. And he's supposed to be wrestling at least at the next Springfield show. He's going to be there. And like he got RKO'd by Randy Orton.
It's sick.
Something to brag about.
Yeah, that's sick.
And he took it very well. I think you know the guy I'm talking about.
Yeah,
he took it very well.
I know which guy you're talking about. Yeah. Not very many people can say that they've been RKO'd by
Randy Orton.
I wish I was one of those people.
I know, I do. I take it for free.
Yeah.
You would have to pay me anything.
I mean...
Pay for my hotel and that'd be it.
Yeah.
Wherever you want me to go, I'll go. Just take an RKO. But yeah, Randy Orton. And then R-Truth comes out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Because Randy Orton, I mean, he's trying to punt John Cena the whole night, it felt like.
Yeah.
They ended up getting a table at one point. A table was brought out, and Randy Orton attitude adjusted John Cena through the table. And then eventually R-Truth comes out, kind of gets in the way. And that kind of helps John Cena take advantage.
You'd think John Cena would be appreciative of R-Truth, but instead he beats him up after the show.
Yeah, so after that whole... after R-Truth causes a distraction, John Cena takes advantage and ends up winning the match. Retains in the... As of right now, the way they presented it, last match we'll ever see of John Cena and Randy Orton.
Yeah.
Then, fast forward to the press conference afterwards. And, back up a little bit. When John Cena's exited the ring, did you watch how when he was leaving, he had a little bit... The crowd was chanting, "Thank you, Cena."
Really?
It was a very much just, looking past the story, it was just a sign of respect. It's like,
yeah,
thank you. This is your last time wrestling in St. Louis. And you can see the smirk on I think John Cena couldn't help himself.
Yeah.
But smile a little bit. But yes, he leaves, goes and does the press conference, and he's like, I'm going to answer questions. He's being professional. I'm going to answer questions. And out comes R-Truth. and kind of gets in his face a little bit, and you can immediately see John Cena's not amused.
Yeah.
And he's like, R-Truth is like, he called him Ron, which is his real name.
Mm-hmm.
He addressed him by his real name. He's like, if you say one more thing, I don't remember what he did, or what he said, but he basically was like, if you say one more thing, I'm gonna beat you up. I'm gonna hurt you. And sure enough, R-Truth couldn't help himself. And sure enough, John Cena ate him through the table.
Yeah. I like how they're doing this like outside the show as well, which is really cool.
And that pretty much wrapped it up for the night, but that set up a whole lot of stuff as we get closer to Saturday night's main event.
Yeah, which is this Saturday.
This is this upcoming Saturday, followed by NXT Battleground. So like that following week, we had a whole lot of setup. We had more as we... Because we're getting Jey Uso versus Logan Paul at Saturday night's main event, which... Do you think we should have had that on this show, Backlash? Do you think we should have had that match? I will... Yes and no. Obviously, it helps Saturday night's main event. It gives it another big profile match. But I don't know. I think like that could have opened the night, Backlash.
Yeah.
Because even the time it's been given, I feel like we had... The build-up for the match isn't all that great. I feel if we would have gotten the match a little earlier.
Yeah, I feel like this kind of match between these two doesn't deserve much of a huge build-up. Because what we've been getting lately is just Logan Paul beating up Jey Uso.
Yeah, because it kicked off the night after WrestleMania.
Yeah.
I mean, we've been building this rivalry since early April.
Yeah.
Or not late April.
I mean, we only had 4 matches on the Backlash.
Yeah, it really wasn't a long show compared.
They could have done it.
They could have added that one, but nevertheless, we're getting it Saturday night's main event.
I feel like it also takes away from the Seth Rollins story as well, because Jey Uso wants to be a part of that, but he also has Logan Paul.
That's what I was saying. I was like, why? Because why not do Seth Rollins versus Jey Uso? Because we had that match the Monday before.
Yeah.
In the main event, the Raw before Backlash. Why not just do that at Backlash?
Yeah.
Give Jey Uso that big title defense, do a Logan Paul thing there, and then you can build it up through. I just felt like we needed one more match to that night, and I think that match, Jey Uso versus Seth Rollins, would have done very well.
Yeah.
Especially, it would have made sense because Seth Rollins coming off the big win at Mania, getting a title match makes sense.
Seth Rollins is going to get one soon, though. We'll talk about that later.
Nevertheless, we're getting Jey Uso, Logan Paul at Saturday night's main event.
Yeah.
So, moving on. So, last week, Raw and SmackDown, again, just building up to Saturday night's main event. NXT had a lot of building up for NXT Battleground.
Yeah.
Such as we're going to be getting Trick Williams versus Joe Hendry. Miles Bourne won a big battle royal to become number 1 contender for Obafemi's NXT Championship, which I thought was very surprising.
Yeah.
But, maybe they're pushing Miles Bourne to be the next big thing. I don't know.
Could be.
Some people say he could be the next Randy Orton. He's got that look to him.
You think so?
Maybe. He's got a good look. I think with some good development, get him in some good stories, which it seems like we're getting in that direction. I mean, he's getting an NXT Championship. I mean, that's a huge profile match. Especially with the no quarter catch crew.
Hear me out. Let's say Obafemi loses.
That would be crazy. That would be, I would say, probably the biggest upset in NXT history.
And hear me out. What if the new member of Seth Rollins' little
is
group
the NXT champion?
Yeah.
That'd be crazy.
Yeah, Obafemi.
Is Obafemi?
Yeah.
You think so? They're just going to bump him right up?
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like they're going to give Obafemi one more year in NXT.
I don't know. I think it would be cool. Like, he's like the big guy, you know what I mean?
He is the big guy. He is a big guy.
Yeah.
It's possible.
I was just pulling that out there. I don't think it's going to happen. But
yeah, I think they'll give Obafemi another year
in
NXT. But I think by next year, he'll be Big player. And then let's move on to SmackDown.
SmackDown. Good old SmackDown.
So we had this night had our first Money in the Bank qualifier match. And I don't know, it just feels like it's crazy we're already getting so close to Money in the Bank.
Yeah.
Like last year, right? Because last year was what? Tiffany Stratton and freaking Drew McIntyre. Hopefully the men's Money in the Bank winner does better. They do better with him than last year. So what opened the show? It
was the Jacob Fatu and JC Mateo and Solo, and then LA Knight comes out and beats up Mateo.
Gotcha.
LA Knight's just getting back at them.
Right. So LA Knight's still in the middle of this whole blood. It seems like he's been fighting the bloodline for gosh, a while now, but still fighting, trying to get his revenge on Jeff Cobb. So I'm assuming that the build up, the payoff is that we're going to get Solo versus Jacob Fatu at SummerSlam?
Yeah.
So at some point Solo's got to turn on him.
I feel like it'll be. When is SummerSlam? Is it?
It's usually in August. So July, August. We still got some time.
Okay.
So I don't think it'll be. I think we maybe wait another month and a half.
Yeah.
We still got plenty of time.
I mean, they're doing good.
They'll work up this Jeff Cobb guy for a little bit before I think they'll pull the trigger on Solo. Either Solo turning on Jacob, which I think is the route to go.
Yeah.
Because the crowd is very much behind Jacob Fatu. They'll boo Solo, but I think they want to cheer Jacob.
Alexa Bliss gets in the qualifying
Yes,
match.
we had our first qualifying match between, was it Alexa Bliss, Meechin, and Chelsea Green.
Chelsea Green.
Alexa Bliss kind of just popping up here and there.
You know, it kind of makes me sad that we're not getting Chelsea Green in the Money in the Bank.
Yes, because I would love for her to win it.
Yeah.
Now, I would love to see, maybe there's like a last chance match or something, and Chelsea Green wins that and sneaks in there. Because, my goodness, I think for one, I think she deserves something for not being included on WrestleMania at all.
Yeah.
Which is insane. Some of the people that were on the card, who I truly believe didn't do as well this past year as she did. She did phenomenal this past year in 2024. Yeah. She was amazing. You can put her up there. I'd rank her in the top 3 of just best work last year when it came to the women. Chelsea Green. But in the end, Alexa Bliss picking up that W.
Yeah.
Which I'm so glad. I'm glad she's in there too. Alexa Bliss. Moving on to Money in the Bank. We need that White 6. My goodness, do we need it.
Yeah.
Gosh, give us something. Have we seen them at all this year? Maybe at the beginning of the year a little bit?
Beginning,
when they were doing Final Testament stuff. But I mean, golly, dude. Something. Fraxium
beat DIY.
I think Fraxium might be my favorite tag
because of the Motor City Machine Guns.
That's right.
Now on WWE 2K.
That's right.
Just want to
new DLC
point that out there, yeah.
New DLC with some other people too.
Julia,
Stephanie Valquer is on there. Tyrese Halliburton.
Yeah.
Did I say his last name right? Is it Halliburton or Halliburton? Halliburton.
Something like that.
Anyways, he's going to be in the game.
Yep.
Which I think we kind of predicted that because he had some run-ins with WWE a little bit. He'll be in. I forget what the name of the DLC is.
It's like the basketball one. Like 3 basketball players.
There's like a couple wrestlers, like legend wrestlers or something, and then some basketball players.
We got R-Truth in like a little interview segment.
Yeah, so R-Truth is going to be going one-on-one with John Cena Saturday Night's Main Event, but it's not for the title,
which is interesting. Maybe
you can be upset with it. I get it, because what's the point of having the champ in the match and not having him defend the title? At the same time, if the title's on the line, 99% chance John Cena's easily winning that match.
I think 99.9% chance. I don't think R-Truth is coming out of that at all.
But now that there's no title on the line, I feel like that gives R-Truth a little bit more of a possibility of a chance. I'm a little torn. Honestly, I'm at the point where it's like, Man, I can say 50-50.
Yeah.
I think because I think they could really do something with the whole R-Truth John Cena storyline.
I think they're going to use this match to build up a story of John Cena and another person.
Yeah, here's the thing.
Here's
the thing that I think is going to hurt the whole John Cena farewell tour a little bit is they're doing all these mini stories.
Yeah.
You know, we went from John Cena Cody, John Cena Randy Orton, John Cena R-Truth. We're not giving it enough time to flesh out.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Think about all the great stories that we've seen. Think about what was the best story in 2024, the best rivalry.
Drew McIntyre.
Drew McIntyre, CM Punk. Yeah. Because, man, did we flesh that story out. Yeah. And was it so good.
Yeah.
That was months and months of storytelling.
All the way from WrestleMania to...
All the way from the Royal Rumble because of CM Punk's injury.
Yeah.
I mean, that was from until Bad Blood, which was, September or something? So that was, 9 months worth of storytelling? It's
crazy.
That's how you tell a good story. It's harder when you don't have a whole lot of time. When you have 3 weeks to tell a story between to tell a story between John Cena and Randy Orton, possibly one of the greatest rivalries of all time, and you give their one last match only 3 weeks to tell a good story.
Yeah, I think they deserved I would be fine with just 3 or 4 stories for this entire tour, and instead of a whole bunch.
I still think they should have gone with my idea about John Cena R-Truth being a tag team, and John Cena still as a heel,
they really
influence R-Truth to do bad things. Maybe they win the tag titles by cheating or something, and R-Truth starts to feel guilty about it, and then that's when R-Truth is no more, and then you can do a big match for the title, have John Cena win. Something like that. But at the same time, I understand there's tons of people you want to get John Cena in the ring with one last time. We need to get John Cena CM Punk one last time. John Cena Seth Rollins. John Cena Roman Reigns. John Cena AJ Styles. I know probably you really want to see that match one more time.
Yeah.
I mean, there's so many people to get him in the ring with one more time. Some people he's never been in the ring with. Braun Breaker, for example. I mean, John Cena versus
Uncle Howdy would be
Uncle
cool.
Howdy would be insane.
Yeah.
Because obviously John Cena's got his stories with Bray Wyatt.
Yeah.
You can work that into there somehow. So obviously there's so many people and there's only 12 months in the year. John Cena's only available so many dates. At the same time, I get it. But yeah, R-Truth had his little promo segment in the back.
Mm-hmm.
You know, this is R-Truth's childhood hero.
Yeah. Childhood
hero, John Cena.
Yeah.
Basically just disrespected him like that. He doesn't understand it.
Mm-hmm.
I think R-Truth wants to help him.
He does.
He doesn't want to give up.
He's not going to give up on his childhood hero.
No.
Not like we have. Because he's known him since he was a child.
He grew up watching and believing in this man.
You know who I'm growing up and watching and believing in?
Who are you believing in?
Aleister
Black.
I would love to see him and John Cena. That would be cool. I think they need to just shoot him up, man.
Honestly, the rivalry I'm looking forward to most with Aleister Black that I think he could do some good work with is Wyatt 6.
Yeah.
I think they could do some incredible work.
Could you see him joining the Wyatt 6?
No, I don't think anybody should join the Wyatt 6. I think it's perfect with the members that are in it.
Well,
I think it's perfect.
I think they need to go ahead and do stuff then.
I know they've been dealing with, I think Uncle Howdy, Bo Dallas, was dealing with injuries.
Oh.
But as far as I know, the way it sounds like he's pretty healed up from the way it sounds. I don't know.
I think they're just story writing right now.
I think they're waiting for the right time.
Which I think they should
Clearly, Alexa Bliss is the main story. That's a clear.
I think that they should have done all the story writing before they returned. Instead of having them return, they're like, okay, let's write all this stuff now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But
yeah, Aleister Black, he went one-on-one with
Carmelo Hayes. And Miz beat him up.
Yeah, by disqualification.
Yeah.
Again, Miz is always a good first rivalry when you're pushing somebody.
Yeah.
I think he really helps.
He's awesome.
He is awesome. He deserves some respect.
Carmelo Hayes is great in the ring as well.
Mm-hmm. Do you think Trick Williams, once we get to the draft, is coming up? I think so.
When are we having the draft? Have they even announced it yet?
No, but I think we are going to get a draft. I think we're getting close. I think within the next few weeks.
Yeah.
I think we need to do it soon. I think Battleground, it sounds like, is going to resolve a lot of rivalries, especially with Trick Williams and Joe Hendry. Obviously, we're getting Tony D'Angelo versus Stax.
Yeah.
And I could see that as Stax
I'm excited
going up.
to see that.
And then Tony D'Angelo maybe coming up to the main roster, possibly. I could see that.
You know what I'm also excited for?
Who are you also excited for?
I'm excited for a steel cage match.
Because that's going down at Saturday night's main event.
Between Drew McIntyre and Damian Priest.
I'm assuming to end the rivalry.
Yeah, I'm hoping
If you're doing
so.
a steel cage match, you got to end the rivalry.
Next, we got Solo Sikoa and Jimmy Uso and Rey Fenix for the men's Money in the Bank ladder match qualifier. And Solo Sikoa picks up the W. I thought Rey Fenix was going to win for a second.
Yeah.
I knew it was between Solo or Rey.
Yeah, I think when we get the draft, I think that's when we're going to get Rey Fenix and Penta, the brothers, paired back up together. Solo Sikoa winning. Could you possibly see Jacob Fatu winning a qualifying match? And then clearly, you have them two getting in. Yeah, and there's going to be some tension there in the match. Yeah. Possibly.
I don't know. Having a champion go into a qualifier match would seem a little odd, though. You know what I mean?
I don't know. It's not unless you're the world champ.
Yeah.
But he's just United States champ. He could be Jacob Fatu can be double champ for all we care.
That's fair.
I will say it would be really stupid if Solo won the Money in the Bank match and cashed in on the United States Championship and pulled an Austin Theory.
I hope they don't.
That's the dumbest thing in the world to cash in on a mid-card championship when you can go cash in on the main world title.
Yeah. I will say, though, the match between JC Mateo and LA Knight was pretty fun to watch.
Was it?
Yeah, JC Mateo. He's something else, man. That's the new guy.
Jacob Cobb. Yeah. So they just shortened it to JC and
they
put it Mateo.
His name, yeah.
So he defeated LA Knight.
Yep. Which is...
Do you like how they've kept up with this? Because we were worried about once Roman beat Solo on the Raw on Netflix, the first episode.
There'd be nothing else.
There wouldn't be much else, but they've done very well.
Yeah.
I think they've done very, very well.
Yeah.
In keeping this new bloodline group going.
They knew what they were doing.
Yeah. I think Jacob Fatu was a big part of that. Mm-hmm. Maybe probably the biggest part of keeping this story alive. Because he's won over the crowd.
Yeah, Tama Tonga and Tonga Loa, I haven't...
Well, because they both got hurt. And then they added JC Mateo.
And then we got an amazing women's championship match between Tiffany Stratton and Nia Jax.
Yes, the match... Again, this match...
Hopefully
you could have easily put on Backlash.
Yeah.
You could have easily put this match on Backlash.
Yeah.
Which I think they should have.
Naomi and Jade Cargill gets a little...
Yeah, so...
brawl.
Remember, we're getting a fatal 4-way down the line here pretty soon.
Yeah. All right,
moving on to Monday Night Raw. From, what was the date?
Which starts out, it's May 19th.
May 19th.
Which starts out with Logan Paul and Jey Uso having a little segment.
Little spat of words.
Yep. Which, actually, no, Logan Paul was just talking, and then...
Yeah.
Jey Uso
because then Paul Heyman comes out.
No, it was Gunther.
Yes.
Gunther came out.
Gunther comes out.
Gunther saying, I'm going for
because Logan Paul was... Almost sounded like he disrespected the ring general a little bit.
Yeah.
Gunther came out, basically giving Logan Paul his dues. Mm-hmm. But at the same time saying, I would kill you.
Yeah.
If we were in the ring together. I'd kill you.
And as Gunther walks out of the ring, Jey Uso comes in from the crowd and super kicks him. So Gunther is going to get his title rematch. Yep.
And it's going to be whoever wins. I'm assuming Jey Uso, most likely.
Yeah.
I do think Seth Rollins is going to be the one to take the title off of Jey Uso.
Yeah, I think Jey Uso is going to make it all the way up to Seth Rollins.
Because I think Cena is going to hold the title probably till the end of the year, most likely. But I think he's at least going to hold it all the way to Crown Jewel. And that's when they're going to do the Crown Jewel championship match. And it's going to be John, because like last year they did champion versus champion.
Yeah, they're going to keep.
It's going to be John Cena versus Seth Rollins, and that's how you're going to get that one last time.
I completely agree. I think that's how they should go by it.
So I think eventually maybe SummerSlam,
yeah,
something. But yeah, I think eventually Seth Rollins is going to win.
We get a tag team match between Finn Balor, JD McDonough, AJ Styles, and Penta, and El Grande Americano cost them the match.
Interesting team up between AJ Styles and Penta.
I really liked seeing that. Yeah.
I think that was fun. Yeah.
And
but yeah, El Grande Americano again.
Still
basically
going
just
after him.
spitting in the face of the luchadors.
Which is kind of crazy because he lost to Penta. Well, his Elias, Chad Gable, lost to him. El Grande was nowhere to be seen.
He was nowhere to be seen. That's
But
right. That's right.
He was probably scheming this up.
Yeah, he's probably at home drawing up plans for this.
Yeah, so he can get through the crowd without anyone knowing.
He had map of the arena.
Yeah.
So he knew where to go. I agree.
Pretty smart guy.
He's a smart guy. So this was the you can go down and hit see more. Next was the
Roxanne Perez.
Yes, the qualifying match between Roxanne Perez,
Becky Lynch,
and
Natalia.
Natalia, yes, because
Yeah.
there were two women's matches this one.
Yeah.
So this was Natalia, Roxanne Perez, and Becky Lynch.
Yeah.
And Becky looked like she was poised to win it.
Yeah, and then Lyra beats her up.
And Roxanne Perez getting the W.
Yeah, pop rocks.
Now, something I want to talk about is this was not all we saw of Roxanne this night. We saw a little backstage with the Judgment Day.
Yeah. And
Finn Balor bringing her in. Not saying she's a part of the Judgment Day, just introducing her to everybody.
Yeah. Which is pretty funny because Finn Balor is the one saying we don't need any new members.
Nah, but without Liv, maybe you're down another member right now.
Now Raquel Rodriguez isn't liking it.
No.
But
Dom Mysterio, buddy.
got the nuggies.
Roxanne had looked like a clothing box full of nuggies.
Yeah.
I will say, Dom Mysterio's Riz needs to be studied.
It's not fair.
He's not even trying.
He's just walking around.
Let's go. Rhea Ripley. Look at this man's roster. Rhea Ripley, Liv Morgan, and now potentially Roxanne Perez.
It's not fair.
That girl right there.
Yeah.
That's dude.
Yeah.
I was like, this man can't keep getting away with this. This isn't fair, dude.
Hold up now. She could be interested in Carlito because she got him an apple.
It is possible. It is possible. And Carlito needs some love too.
We know
he gets so disrespected.
Yeah. We know she's not interested in JD McDonough's
big old head.
But
yeah.
We also had
Sheamus. Could you imagine? I mean, think about the match between Roxanne Perez and Liv Morgan.
That would be great.
Banger match.
It would be a great way to get Roxanne up there. You know what I mean?
I agree. She's getting Money in the Bank. She's already on her way. I could see her maybe winning Money in the Bank.
I could see it too.
Yeah.
I think that would be like really smart, to be honest, because they've been pushing.
For me, as of right now, out of the women, all the women that have qualified so far, she's the favorite for me.
Yeah.
Because it's obviously we'll talk about it later, but Rhea Ripley, Roxanne, and Alexa Bliss. Out of the three women there, I gotta go with Roxanne Perez if I had to choose right now.
I agree. I also think that Grayson Waller and Austin Theory are almost done.
I don't know. Hold on. Hold that thought though. If you didn't hear it, go back and watch the match, because that crowd was cheering for Austin Theory.
Yeah.
Even Austin Theory didn't know quite what to think. They have been building up this turn for a while, for
about a
year now.
Yeah.
I think we're getting close,
dude. Because
here's the thing: I think when it does happen, and Austin Theory turns on Grayson Waller, that crowd is going to go nuts.
Yeah,
I think it's going to happen.
You know what's crazy though? Grayson Waller was getting beat up by Sheamus, and Austin Theory is just laughing at him.
I know. That's what I'm saying, dude. We've been complaining a little bit about how they just keep putting off this turn for a while. But maybe that's a good plan, because the crowd's starting to get into it.
Yeah.
And now they're like, do it. And, they keep teasing it, but not quite doing it.
Yeah.
But when it finally happens, when they pull that trigger, that crowd is going to go nuts.
Yeah. Rhea Ripley, Kairi Sane, and Zoe Stark.
Yes. Zoe Stark did quite well through about halfway through the match until she hit a drop kick.
Yeah.
And if you go back and watch that in slow motion, she looked like she snapped her leg in half. Really sucks.
Sucks, yeah.
Yeah, that sucks so bad. Because I thought it was odd that, they released Shayna Baszler but kept Zoe Stark. I was like, okay.
They're going to
maybe we can do something with her. And I was excited because I've always told you that I've seen a lot of potential in Zoe Stark. I think she could be a big-time player.
Yeah.
I think they've really screwed up since her storyline with Trish Stratus. I think they could have done something with that.
Yeah.
But this is a bad break. This really sucks.
Do you think maybe she was supposed to win until she did that and then they had Rhea Ripley win?
No, I doubt it. I think Rhea Ripley is probably the clear winner. Mm-hmm. It makes sense, especially Rhea Ripley. What else is there for her to do right now?
Yeah.
Money in the Bank for right now is a clear match. It is good to see Kairi Sane back. First match back from injury.
Jey Uso, Braun Breaker get a match. And
the main event.
Jey Uso technically wins. By disqualification.
After Seth Rollins gets involved.
Yeah.
Seth Rollins came out about his jeans about fell down, but he came out and took out Jey Uso.
Then CM Punk came in.
Looked like Paul Heyman was about to throw down there for a little bit.
CM Punk and Sami Zayn came in.
Mm-hmm. Because at Saturday night's main event, we're getting the tag match between Sami Zayn, CM Punk, Seth Rollins, and Braun Breaker.
I think Seth Rollins and Braun Breaker should get the W.
I think they should too. Because if we're going to build this group up.
Yeah.
And maybe that's where we get the third member.
I think so.
Or fourth member if you want to include Paul Heyman.
Paul Heyman...
He's a member.
He is a member.
All right, so fourth member of the group.
Paul Heyman's going to be a part of War Games.
He should.
I think they should do that.
That'd be crazy.
That'd be hilarious.
Anyways, yeah. And then Logan Paul gets involved.
Yeah.
Because the two teams, they fight out in the crowd. They're gone. Jey Uso's alone by himself. And that's when Logan Paul strikes.
Yeah.
With that big, would he have some brass knuckles, I think, and just socked him right in the face. In that end of the night.
We get a lot of weapons, but there's some more we get to see on NXT later.
Mm-hmm.
But first we start with Sean Legacy versus Javon Evans and Ashante Adonis in a triple threat match. And Sean Legacy wins.
Sean Legacy picking up a big W. That's huge.
Yep.
Over, for one, Javon Evans, who has been a main player for the past year.
Yeah.
Getting a big W.
So, Sean Legacy's from Evolve, right?
Mm-hmm.
WWE Evolve.
Ashante the Adonis. What? Is he like the new Apollo Crews? Apollo Crews, who is still, from my understanding, employed by WWE.
However, Braun Strowman isn't.
Isn't. Cora Jade isn't.
Yeah.
Dakota Kai isn't.
But, dude, he's like...
You gotta give it to... Hey, we're not dissing on him. He's an incredible talent, an incredible wrestler.
How much money do you think he pays the company to stay in the company?
I think they're paying him. I think he's like, man, this is the coolest job in the world, man. I hardly have to do anything.
Like, does he get money for what he does?
Yeah.
Just not doing anything?
No, I mean, I'm sure he does house shows. I'm sure he does a lot of those. And I'm sure he's doing maybe other stuff, interviews.
Yeah.
Maybe some ambassador work, but yeah. He's like, wherever you need me, guys, I'll do it.
Yeah.
I like the money.
Trick Williams and Joe Hendry have like a little rap thing.
Yeah, so they're gonna do a match. I'm curious to see if this main events NXT Battleground because it's them 1-on-1 for the TNA World Championship. I think the first time ever that a TNA Heavyweight Championship has been defended in WWE. And it's going down at NXT Battleground.
I think Joe Hendry's going to get the W.
I think so too. Yeah, definitely.
There's no way they're going to give Trick
I think
Williams
it'll be a great match.
Yeah.
And then Trick Williams will move up to the main roster. And I think the first thing you do is you got to pair him back with Carmelo Hayes because I think Carmelo Hayes needs somebody.
Yeah.
To really help him elevate a bit, and I think teaming him up with Trick Williams will help.
Don't get me wrong.
A good heel team.
The Miz has been helping with that.
Yeah.
I don't think Carmelo would still be doing much if it wasn't for The Miz.
Give it up for The Miz.
Yeah. We get Sean Spears and Josh Briggs. Mm-hmm. Sean Spears gets the W.
Yeah, because we're getting the Culling versus Hank and Tank and
what's
Josh Briggs.
Yeah.
Versus Josh. Those two teams, 6-man tag match, NXT Battleground.
Gotcha. And here's another thing. We got Bronco Nima and Lucian Price versus Cale Dixon and Uriah Connors. Which is...
Those are some hard names to pronounce.
Yeah.
Tag match, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Solid tag match.
So.
Move on.
Okay, yeah. So we got Jasper Troy. He basically derailed Oba Femi's statement to Miles Bourne, which is...
I know. So it was the LFG winner from that show came in, which LFG is basically... It's a more like reality show type version of that, of Tough Enough. Did you ever... Did they have that when you started to watch wrestling, or were they done with that by then?
I think they're done with that.
I don't think they had done it. I watched a few seasons of that, or a couple seasons of it. Anyways, it's basically just kind of a more reality, more raw version of that. And yeah, he came out to Obafemi.
We also had Lola Vice and Fallon Henley.
Lola Vice picking up that big old W.
Shout out Lola Vice.
Shout out Lola Vice.
Shout out Fallon Henley. Shout out both of them. Let's be honest.
Kalani Jordan defeated Zarya. NXT, still in my opinion, has the best women's division.
Yeah.
And makes the best use out of their women.
Yeah.
If you really look at, and I think that goes for really every company, and especially in the WWE, in all the divisions, they do it the best.
Yeah. And that's all of it.
Yes, so as we get closer to NXT Battleground, I'm curious to see what main events. I'm assuming my prediction would be Joe Hendry and Trick Williams main eventing. Mm-hmm. I doubt it would be Obafemi and Miles Bourne, but we'll see. I will say, I think if we had to make a ranking of the best things that have happened under the Triple H administration, I think partnering up with TNA may be number one.
It's up there, yeah.
I mean, getting CM Punk back is obviously probably up there.
It's a smart move. CM Punk, I think, is number one in my opinion.
Yeah, I think just from what I've watched, I think partnering up with TNA has been a huge success.
Yeah,
a successful partnership on both sides. Because obviously you see NXT superstars going over to TNA doing some work. I
feel like TNA is going to get a little more spotlight as well since they've been WWE stuff.
We've been able to see some old wrestlers from WWE return.
Yep.
Fandango, formerly known as Elias, but now known as Elijah, was there. So it's cool to see those guys. Obviously, we've gotten to see people that...
The Hardys.
Yeah, the Hardys.
Yeah.
And we've gotten to see people that we didn't think we'd ever get to see in WWE, like Joe Hendry. Mm-hmm. Because of this partnership, we get Joe Hendry.
We got Joe Hendry versus Randy Orton
at WrestleMania. We had the TNA World Champion, Joe Hendry, the TNA champion, the champion of a completely separate professional wrestling company, on the biggest stage in the world.
Yeah.
Wrestling one of the greatest of all time, Randy Orton.
Yeah.
You 5 years ago, I would have said you were nuts. Yeah. That would never happen. Insane. But yes, as we get closer and closer, big weekend coming up. We got Saturday night's main event. I'm assuming Cena and Truth will main event tonight. I mean, you're not going to have John Cena on the card and have him not main event. I'll predict Logan Paul, Jey Uso will open the card.
Yeah.
And obviously we're getting the steel cage match. We're also getting the tag match. I'm trying to think what women's matches if they've announced any. I could see them maybe announcing something on SmackDown.
Are they doing Naomi and Jay Cargill?
Go ahead and look up Saturday night's main event match card. I think they should. I think they need at least one more match together. I think Saturday night's main event would be a good one.
Let's see here. No, it's just those 4.
Just those 4 as of right now, unless they add any. That or a fatal 4-way between Tiffany Stratton, Nia Jax, JD Cargill, and Naomi. They could do. We've already passed Raw, so I doubt we're going to see any Raw women on there. No Io Sky or any like that. But solid week as we get closer and closer to Saturday night's main event.
Oh yeah.
John Cena versus R-Truth. What's going to happen? Who do you got winning? No title on the line. Keep that in mind. Who you got?
I think John Cena will still.
You still
win.
think he's going to win?
Yeah. I just think they're doing that to get people to believe in R-Truth.
Yeah.
I think John Cena will still win.
I'll have a little fun with it. I'll say R-Truth.
Okay.
I'll have a little fun with it. And maybe he wins and then he gets a title match and loses. If you say they're trying to set up another rivalry, what rivalry do you think that is?
No clue.
I have no clue.
I don't think there's...
Maybe Cody Rhodes returns.
Yeah.
Because, the next big PLE is Money in the Bank, obviously, since we're getting all these qualifying matches. I'd love to see Cody Rhodes in the Money in the Bank match, I'll be honest. I think that's something we haven't seen yet, Cody Rhodes in the Money in the Bank. Maybe he wins it and cashes in on Cena.
I've been thinking that we might not see Cody Rhodes until he and Cena goes against each other again.
Again?
But I don't know.
Maybe he pulls the whole... Gets Money in the Bank, wins the match, announces his cash in beforehand, which I think is super dumb.
Yeah.
I think that defeats the purpose of the Money in the Bank briefcase. But being like, all right, I'm cashing this in at SummerSlam.
Then he loses.
And then he loses because it's stupid. Or maybe R-Truth costs John Cena the title. And that makes John Cena have to do some deep reflection. And then he turns babyface.
Yeah.
To end the... Because I think this whole once we finish SummerSlam is going to be the closing of the chapter, I think, on a big part of the Cena farewell tour, if that makes sense. I think SummerSlam is going to end a lot of stuff, and we're going to kind of move on into a new direction to finish it out. It's almost like a part 2. We've gotten part 1, maybe all the way to SummerSlam. Maybe he loses at SummerSlam, and then we get a part 2 story. What that is, I don't know.
We'll see.
Or maybe Cena will take the title all the way to the end of the year.
And we never see the title again.
He's going to take it home. He's going to take it home with him.
Yeah.
What, he's gonna ruin professional wrestling? Is that what he says? Something like that?
Yeah. Something like that.
I don't want it to be ruined. I like it.
It's pretty good right now.
It's not too bad. Mania was a little mid at times, but for the most part it was alright.
I feel like the only mid part about Mania
was the biggest match of the card.
Yeah, basically. All the other matches, I think they
were fine.
They were good, yeah.
Yeah. All right, get us out of here, Caysen. We got Saturday Night's Main Event coming up this Saturday, followed by NXT Battleground on Sunday.
Oh yeah, your champion will be there.
No, shit. Get it. There you go.
Your champion will be there. Along with John Cena.
Ooh.
John Cena will be there, but...
John Cena's not the champ?
He's not the champ.
He doesn't have the title.
That's why the title's not on the line, because I have the title.
That's because you have the title.
Yeah.
That's right.
So, Batman, Magic Tyler, Caysen Smith. We'll see y'all... I'm sorry. On the next one.